Hey guys, I just wanted to share a really uplifting story because I know that, well, those are scarce these days. There's so much darkness and division, um, which I get sucked into, and I wish I didn't because it's stupid and it just doesn't need to happen. But anyway, I thought I would share a nice story that happened today because I think people need to hear stuff like this. But anyway, so earlier today I was driving and I was praying for some people that need prayer, and also for like myself and the people who tend to need consolations. I get heavy, I guess. And anyway, I was just praying for these specific intentions and also for God to reveal Himself, especially to the people for whom I was praying, but also to all of us in whatever way He does that. I think it's really different for everybody. But anyway, I went to Aldi a few minutes later and I was walking with my cart into the produce aisle, and I came up behind this man who was like, I don't know, getting whatever lettuce or something, and he looked and sounded like an older Tom Petty, if you can imagine. Anyway, he was like, "Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Am I in your way?" And I said, "No, no, you're good. I'm just looking for a head of cabbage, and I can't find one." And he was like, "Oh, I'll show you. I know exactly where they are." So he took me around to the other aisle, just on the other side, and he was like, "There they are, right there, the avocados and whatever." I was like, "Hey, thanks. I really appreciate that." And he was like, "Yeah, you're welcome." So we like started going opposite ways, and then he was like, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I was like, "Yeah." Sometimes you're like, "Oh Lord, what?" Anyway, I was like, "Yeah," and he goes, "Hang on just a minute, I got something for you," and I said, "Oh, do you?" And he was like, "Yeah, hang on just a minute." And he pulls out this long wallet. He opens his wallet. He pulls this out. He's like, "I made that for you." And I said, "Really? What is it?" And he said, "It's a sweetener packet." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I wasn't really sure what to say, but he goes, "Let me show you." He like holds it up and he goes, "I made you a butterfly. See? See that? And you can take this little part at the bottom and fold it, and then you can put it on your table or your desk. And whenever you need a smile, you just look at that little butterfly that I made you." And I was like, like a little kid, I'm smiling, right? And he goes, "That's it right there. That's the sweetener. I see a smile like that, it sweetens everything." He's like, "I always get a smile when I give people my butterflies." And I was like, wow. He's like, "I'm so glad it made you smile." I said, "Oh, you have no idea. Like, this is such a blessing. Thank you so much." And he was like, you just have a blessed day and, enjoy your butterfly." I was like, absolutely. So anyway, magic happens at Aldi. I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously this one was tailor made for me, a gift from God. But last year at Valentine's Day, I had that situation where I walked into Aldi and there was an elderly woman. She was looking at the flowers and there was a balloon that said "Sweetheart." And I'm walking down the aisle and I hear this beautiful voice singing, "Let me call you sweetheart." And I looked around and she's back there singing that. And then this elderly man who was probably about the same age as she was, pushing a cart, like they were not together. And he walks up and says, "I'm in love with you." And they start singing the song together. and they sing the whole song together, and it's just unbelievable, and it's beautiful, and they smiled and laughed and just had a ball. And I said, that is a movie scene. Like, that stuff doesn't happen at Aldi in Thomasville, right? It's just, anyway, that was another very special little Aldi moment from God. And if anyone needs a little bit of hope, I think that was a lot of hope for me today, because I was sometimes, despite all the ways that God has revealed himself to me, I just keep needing it, and he keeps giving it to me, because I think he knows that I would be lost without it, literally. Anyway, I'm praying for the people who I know are struggling and suffering, and there's so many. And I just don't want you to lose hope, just like I don't want the people that I was praying for today to lose hope, because things seem really dark, but they're not. And just ask God to reveal himself. And I don't know how he will, but I know he will. Anyway, thanks for listening.